So hi and welcome to your ENG 6301 Engineering Management. This topic discusses Week 8 Motivating. Okay, what is motivation? So motivation refers to the act of giving employees reasons or incentives to work to achieve organizational objectives. Okay, so motivation refers also to the process of activating behavior, sustaining it, and directing it toward a particular goal. This definition is useful because it specifies 3 stages: activating, sustaining, and directing towards the achievement of objectives. Then we have factors contributing to motivation. Number 1, we have the willingness to do a job. So people who like what they are doing are highly motivated to produce the expected output. Next, we have self-confidence in carrying out a task. Okay, when employees feel that they have the required skill and training to perform a task, the more motivated they become. Okay, and last, needs satisfaction. Okay, so people will do their jobs well if they feel that by doing so, their needs will be satisfied. Next is the theories of motivation. Okay, so we have Maslow's needs hierarchy theory, Herzberg's two-factory theory, expectancy theory, goal-setting theory. Okay, so next is the Maslow's needs hierarchy theory. Okay, so Abraham Maslow theorized that human beings have 5 basic needs. Okay, the needs are hierarchical, which means one need will have to be satisfied first before the other need. Okay, we have the physiological needs, which is concerned with biological needs. Security needs. These needs include freedom from harm coming from elements or from other people. Then we have the social needs. The employee will now strive to secure love, affection, and the need to be accepted by peers. Next, we have the esteem needs. It refers to the need for positive self-image and self-respect and the need to be respected by others. And the last one is the self-actualization needs. It involves realizing our full potential as human beings and becoming all that we are able to be. Okay, so we have the physiological needs. Okay, these are food, water, sleep, sex, body elimination. Okay, so these needs take priority over other needs. And then we have the security needs. Okay, after satisfying the physiological needs, people will seek to satisfy their safety needs. Okay, so these needs includes freedom from harm coming from the elements or other people, financial security, which may be affected by loss of job, or the breadwinner in the family, and so on. Then we have these social needs, okay? Friendship, belonging, and love. Okay, so after satisfying his physiological and security needs, the employee will now strive to secure love, affection, and the need to be accepted by peers. And then we have the esteem needs. Okay, so the fourth level of needs is called esteem needs, and they refer to the need for a positive self-image and self-respect, and the need to be respected by others. So it's the status, respect, and prestige. Okay, and the fifth and the topmost level needs in the hierarchy are called self-actualization, okay, needs, and involve realizing our full potential as human beings and becoming all that we are able to be, or what we call self-fulfillment. Okay, so the relevance of Maslow theory to engineering management. Okay, so the theory have been largely questioned. One basic premise cannot be discarded. A fulfilled need no longer motivates an individual. If this is the situation the subordinate is in, the engineer manager must identify an unfulfilled need and work out a scheme so that the subordinate will be motivated to work in order to satisfy the unfulfilled need. So Herzberg two-factory theory. Okay, so indicating that a satisfied employee is motivated from within to work harder and that a dissatisfied employee is not self-motivated. Okay, so first we have dissatisfaction. Satisfied employees mention the following factor called satisfiers or motivation factors responsible to job satisfaction. So example is the achievement, recognition, work itself, responsibility, advancement, and growth. And then we have the dissatisfaction. Dissatisfied employees mention the factors called dissatisfiers or hygiene factor as responsible for job dissatisfaction. Okay, so example are the company policy and administration, supervision, relationship with supervisor, work condition, salary, relationship with peers, personal life, relationship with subordinates, status, and security. And then next we have the expectancy theory. Okay, so motivational model based on the assumption that an individual will work depending on his perception of the probability of his expectations to happen. Okay, expectancy is a belief about the likelihood or probability that a particular behavioral act will lead to a particular outcome like promotion. Okay, expectancy theory is based on the following assumptions. A combination of forces within the individual and in the environment determines behavior. People make decisions about their own behavior and that of organizations. People have different types of needs, goals, and desires. People make choices among alternative behaviors based on the extent to which they think a certain behavior will lead to a desired outcome. Then we have the goal setting theory. Okay, so when individual, okay, next we have the goal setting theory. Okay, so process of improving performance with objectives, deadlines, or quality standards. Okay, so when individuals or group are assigned specific goals, a clear direction is provided and which later motivates them to achieve these goals. Okay, so the goal setting model drawn by Edwin A. Locke and his associates consists of the following components: goal content, goal commitment, work behavior, feedback aspects. Okay, then we'll start with the goal content. Sufficient in content, goals must be challenging, attainable, specific and measurable, time limited, and relevant. So when goals are challenging, higher performance may be expected. The sales quotas imposed by companies to individual members to the use of challenging goals. Okay, so goals must be attainable if they are to be set. If they are not allowed, then workers will only be discouraged to perform, if at all. Okay, so goals must be stated in a quantitative terms whenever possible. When exact figures to be met are set, understanding is facilitated and workers are motivated to perform. So there must be a time limit set for goals to be accomplished. Okay, and then we have the goal commitment. Okay, so individuals or groups are committed to the goals they are supposed to achieve. There is a chance that they will be able to achieve them. Okay, and then we have the work behavior. Okay, goals influence behavior in terms of direction, effort, persistence, and planning. Okay, so when an individual is provided with direction, performance is facilitated. In trying to attain goals already indicated, the individual is provided with a direction to exert more effort. The identification of goal provides a reason for an individual to persist in his efforts until the goal is attained. Once goals are set, the first important input to planning is already in place. Okay, and then we have the feedbacks aspects. Provides the individuals with a way of knowing how far they have gone in achieving objectives. Okay, so feedback also facilitate the introduction of corrective measures whenever they are found to be necessary. Then we have techniques of motivation. Okay, so individual group or groups of individuals may be motivated to perform through the use of various techniques. These techniques may be classified as follows: motivation through job design, motivation through rewards, motivation through employee participation, other motivation techniques for the diverse work. Motivation through job design. Okay, a person will be highly motivated to perform if he is assigned a job he likes. Okay, so the first requisite, however, is to design jobs that will meet the requirements of the organization and the person who will occupy them. So job design may be defined as specifying the task that constitute a job for an individual or a group. Okay, so in motivating through the use of job design, how approaches may be used: fitting people to jobs or fitting jobs to people. Okay, so fitting people to jobs, routine and repetitive tasks may workers suffer from chronic dissatisfaction. So to avoid the following remedies may be adopted. Number one, we have the realistic job previews. Okay, so where management provides honest explanations of what a job actually entails. Okay, number two, we have the job rotation, where people are moved periodically from one specialized job to another. And then we have the limited exposure, where a worker's exposure to a highly fragmented and tedious job is limited. Then we have the fitting jobs to people. Instead of changing the person, management may consider changing the job. This may be achieved with the use of the following. First, we have the job enlargement, where two or more specialized tasks in a workflow sequence is combined into a single job. Then we have the job enrichment, where efforts are made to make jobs more interesting, challenging, and rewarding. Okay, so rewards consist of material and psychological benefits to employees for performing tasks in the workplace. So properly administered reward systems can improve job performance and satisfaction. Okay, so rewards may be classified into two categories. Okay, so number one is the intrinsic rewards, those which refer to payoffs granted to the individual by another party. Okay, so examples are money, employee benefits, promotions, recognitions, status symbols, praise, and so on. And then we have the intrinsic rewards, those which are internally experienced payoffs which are self-granted. Okay, so examples are sense of accomplishment, self-esteem, and self-actualization. Okay, next, we have the management of intrinsic rewards. So to motivate job performance effectively, intrinsic rewards must be properly managed in the following. Okay, it must satisfy individual needs. The employees must believe effort will lead to reward. Okay, rewards must be equitable. Rewards must be linked to performance. Okay, so no single type of reward is generally applicable to all employees. Okay, so this is so because individual persons have needs different from other persons. Okay, so as much as possible, the particular needs of an individual must be matched with the corresponding reward if motivation is the objective. Okay, so the administrative constraints inherent to such systems, however, will be a hindrance to its adoption. Whenever feasible, however, it must be used. Okay, employee must believe that efforts will lead to rewards. They will not survive to turn in more efforts in their particular job assignments. Okay, so when employees knows that reward is tied up to individual performance, management may expect extra efforts from them. A negative example is the practice in some government offices where every employee, regardless of performance, is given a productivity bonus. So as a result, the majority are not motivated to exert extra efforts. Next, we have the motivation through employee participation. Okay, so when employees participate in deciding various aspects of their jobs, the personal involvement oftentimes is carried up to the point where the task is completed. Okay, so the specific activities identified where employees may participate are as follows. Okay, setting goals, making decisions, solving problem, and designing and implementing organizational changes. Okay, so the more popular approaches to participation includes the following. The quality control circles, a method of direct employee participation. The circle consists of a group of 3 to 10 employees usually doing related work who meet at regular interval to identify problems and discuss their solutions. Okay, so the objective of QCC, or quality control circles, is to increase productivity and quality output. Then we have these self-managed teams, also known as autonomous work groups or high-performance teams. Self-managed teams take on traditional managerial tasks as part of their normal work routine. So the self-managed team works on their own. Okay, so turning out a complete product or service and receiving a minimal supervisions from managers who act more as facilitators than supervisors. When a product or service is produced by a group of professionals or specialists, they might as well be formed as a self-managed team to save on supervisory costs. Then we have the quality control circle process. Okay, so first, the quality circle members brainstorms, gather data, and establish cause and effect. And then, okay, they prepare solutions and recommendations. After that, okay, so the circle forwards its recommendations to management, which in turn makes decision on its adaptation. Okay, and lastly, the results are measured and feedback recognition and rewards given to quality control circle member. After that, can again start with the brainstorming, gathering data, and establishing cause and effect. Next, we have the requisites to successful employee participation program. Okay, so to succeed, an employee participation program will require the following. Okay, a profit sharing or gain sharing plan, a long-term employment relationship with good job security, a concerted effort to build and maintain group cohesiveness, protection of the individual employee's rights, okay, so other motivation techniques. Okay, so the advent of theories on individual differences and the biological clock of human being put pressure on the engineer manager to adopt other motivation techniques whenever applicable. These refer to the following. Flexible work schedules, family support services, and last, sabbaticals. Okay, so flexible work schedules. So there is an arrangement called flex time, which allows employee to determine their own arrival and departure times within specified limits. Okay, so for an example, an engineer firm may allow you or allow one group of employees to take the 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. schedule. Another group takes 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. schedule, and another takes the 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. schedule. An alternative to this arrangement is the adoption of the 40-hour work in 4 days, allowing the employee to choose a day off. Okay, so employees are oftentimes burdened by family obligations like caring for children. Okay, so we have the family support services. Progressive companies provide daycare facilities for children of employees. And then we have the sabbaticals. The employee is allowed to go live for 2 months to 1 year with pay to give him time for family, recreations, and travel. Okay, so it is given to an employee with certain number of years of service. Okay, so it is expected that when the employee returns for work, his motivation is improved. Okay, that will be all for today, class. Thank you and have a nice day.